radios. Okay.
Headset on, radio's on. Okay, we're in a 72 Cherokee 6300. Big, wide. Avidyne 770. Like a kind of like a 530 touchscreen made by Avidyne. 300 horsepower IO 540 Lycoming in it. They're basically a Seneca fuselage, the big wide fat Seneca fuselage with one engine on it. They're good. This one has been upgraded. A little bit more custom panel, simplified. A couple of G5s, ADSB in and out, Avidyne 770. We're going to do a quick flight around the pattern in it, and then we're going to talk about it. Model year changes and all the differences between the Cherokee 6s over the years. This one's actually got 25 hours on the engine. Maps come up, Placerville Direct. They're good, these. I mean, I'm used to a 530, and 530s seem to be very user-friendly and easy to adapt. But this, when you get to know it, is an excellent radio. So we're down. Close the door. I'm just going to go quickly once around the panel. I'll try and hold the camera freehand, but I've got to fly the plane too, so a lot of it will just be static like this. But for the run-up, we can have a look. I use CIGAR, Controls, Instruments, Gas, Attitude, Run-Up. The controls. Instruments. Fuel. Temperatures, pressures. Gas, on a full tank with gas in it. Attitude, trim, takeoff, flaps, one stage. My attitude, it's good, let's go. Run up, okay, so we run her up to 1700. 3 blade, 6 cylinder, very smooth. We'll do a mag check, left, right, left, both. Cycle a prop. 2 and it's cold. We've got vacuum, idling. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, that's a 1
Fuel pump.
Runway 13.
Fuel pump on, 10 degrees flaps. Radio. Placerville traffic, Cherokee 645 Charlie Hotel is departing runway 23. Left traffic, Placerville. Long nose on it. I don't know if you can see over the cowl with the camera, but long nose, full power. 40 knots. Still coming back. Nose up. And she's in the air. What a tank. Okay, we're going to put away flap. your manifold pressure back to a reasonable 24. RPM back to a noise reducing 24, and the mixture back just a bit for the fuel flow. A couple of birds.
Lucid traffic, set 14 Whiskey Golf on the upwind, straight out departure to the south, last call to Lucid traffic.
Placerville 5 Charlie Hotel making left crosswind off 23 at Placerville, staying in the pattern. Pick this up a little bit. Check downwind. Placerville, 5 Charlie Hotel, left downwind to 23 at Placerville. Tiny bit higher on the seat, hopefully you can see more. I can't see what it's seeing. I'm busy. Okay, we're on downwind. 6 cylinders and 3 blades always seems to harmonically be excellent in a piston engine plane. Half the number of prop blades with cylinders. 4 cylinders, 2 blades. I don't know why it works, but it seems to be dynamically smooth. Okay, so I'm slowing it down now, manifold pressure coming back. We're in the green, we're in the white flap range, so I can use flaps. Gears are already down, because it's a Cherokee 6. Okay. 10. Placerville, 5 Charlie Hotels on left base for 23 at Placerville. It's just like a big archer or arrow, not arrow, retractable, but just, they're very Cherokee-ish, these. They're like a school bus, so I'll show you in the back later. It's huge. Okay, prop forward, next stage of flaps, doing 75, 80. Placerville, 5 Charlie Hotel, turning left final onto 23 at Placerville, full stop. And we'll put in full flaps. Got all trim, wow, stepple. Red and the white light. And then it's got a very long nose, so when you're landing it, you just, nose wheel's so far away, just keep it up. You can hold her off. I could be landing a lot slower. Hold it off, main, nose. Made it. Flaps away. If you've got a lot of kids, a lot of bulky stuff you need to move around, you can't beat a Cherokee 6. It's not the fastest plane. 540 Lycoming burns about 14 or 15 gallons an hour, and it does about 135 knots, but you're moving 7 people. So we're going to go down to the photograph area. Hi, this is Mark from Skywagons University doing another model year changes video about a particular kind of plane. This is a Cherokee 6, as you can see, because it's big. Not really a Skywagon, but these are very utilitarian. And there are Piper people who go up through the Pipers and end up in these, and then there are Cessna people who go up through the Cessnas and end up in 206s and 210s. These are the Piper equivalent of a 206. So this is a 1972 Cherokee 6 300. They made Cherokee 6s from 65 to 79. And the 65s were 260 horse, and the 260s, they were in parallel production. But the 300 came out in 66 the next year. And The 300 is fuel injected 300 horsepower, and the 260 of course is 260 horse carbureted. Both 540 Lycomings. The 300 is high compression ratio, so it gets the extra 40 horsepower from there. Window configurations, identification, like a lot of planes you can tell by the windows. On a 65 to 74, they have 3 side windows. Co-pilot or pilot, passenger, rear seats, and that rear one above the 4 and the 5 isn't on a pre-74. This has been added because it's a 72, it shouldn't have it. And an observant YouTube watcher fan of mine, maybe the only one, he spotted that window and said that's not supposed to be on that plane. I said, you're correct, it's been added. So credit there. The other windows, when it got that 4th window, the other windows were rounded on the corners. So if they're continuous, you'll see rounded on the corners and a 4th window. It just makes it look a bit more modern, like adding that teardrop shaped window on a Bonanza, early Bonanzas. So this is a 72. It should have 3 side windows. They are the Seneca fuselage. They're the same fuselage as a Seneca. Big double doors. We'll go through all the different stuff. So let's get a little bit closer up with it. Fuel tanks on Cherokee 6s. They all have 84 gallons. But the 65 to 78s have 4 tanks. They got 17 in a tip, and then they got 25 in a main. This is just basically like an Archer Warrior Cherokee 180 fuel tank. So you got a fuel selector. I'll show you inside. Tip, main, tip. The 79s are unique. They're still a Cherokee 6 with a square wing. I'll talk about that as well. But they have one big tank in the wing. So the 79 Cherokee 6 is the only one with a single big fuel tank. And you'll see it. It starts in the same place, but it ends further up the wing. And there's a little gauge on it, and there's a single cap, and the tip is just fiberglass. So you have 4 positions to choose from burning the fuel. The tapered wing, 79's last year of Cherokee 6. The tapered wing Cherokee 6 is actually a Saratoga. So once you see the tapered wing on it, it's like the Archer to the Cherokee 180. Cherokee 180 square, Archer tapered. This is square, Hershey bar, and it gets tapered in 80 and becomes a Saratoga. And the Saratogas go through turbos, non-turbos, retractables, fixed gears. And they stopped production of the Cherokee 6 like this in 79, but they restarted production of the Cherokee 6 in 1995 till 2007. They called it the Piper 6X, and it was basically a modern version of the Cherokee 6. But these are the bread and butter ones from the 60s to the late 70s. Some of the attractive features people like about them is the size of the cabin. Great big door on the back. Unlatch it here. You got a little strap that holds that up. Baggage area, 5th and 6th seat, 3rd and 4th seat, and even a middle seat. That's a 3-row seat in the middle and 2 in the front. So 2, 3, 2, 7. That can be an armrest in the middle seat. Now the beauty of this is, if you didn't want these 2 seats in the back, this is how hard it is to take them out. So we'll just take whatever's in the way off, and you just get hold of the seat and go. That is how easily they come out, and conversely how easily they go in. And you think, oh, that can't be safe, but actually it's the seat belt that holds you in, which goes outside the seat. So the seat isn't bolted down by 5 bolts, and to put it back in, you just clip it under the feet chute in the front, clip, and you just align in the back and push it down, and it's that simple. So huge cargo. You could fly this as a 5-person plane with a baggage area that big. So if you've got a lot of kids or a lot of luggage, they're great. And also, if these 2 seats are out, this is lower. There's a little 6-inch drop in this whole footwell area. I've seen people with a board that goes across here, and those 3 out, and they have 7 feet of flat floor in there. And you literally go camping in it. You sleep in it. Park it, sleep in it, use it like an airborne RV, and then when you get to the airport, you're not stuck because you've got your home with you. But they're just very large, and they're hugely wide too. You're not sitting next to each other like in an Archer or a Mooney or something with just 2 people, 2 seats, no armrest in the middle. This is about probably 10 inches wider between the seats. So there's a lot of room in them just to move around. Wings and flaps on these are pretty much like any other Cherokee. They just have these inside dents, flaps and ailerons. The same as on a Seneca or a Cherokee 180. Square wing, Hershey bar only. And the tail much wider. A Cherokee 180 will end here, an Archer will end here, so the Cherokee 6 is the same horizontal as the later tapered wing smaller Cherokees, and the whole thing moves like on all Pipers. It's a flying horizontal stabilizer, very effective. It's the same width as the Seneca, this width, because this piece would be directly behind, you know, each of the two engines for that width. Same vertical fin as the Cherokee 180 or an Archer as well. Common for parts, easy to get, everything. So seating in these, 65 to 78, they were literally 3 forward-facing rows. This being a 72 is one of those. That can be an armrest, so you can have 2 people, big armrest, or you have 3 people, 3 separate belts. So if these were down, imagine if these weren't in here. The 78 and 79s are club seating, so they're facing each other. So this whole board basically is backwards. The back of the seats are touching the front of the back seats over there, and they're facing this way. There's a little table that comes out. There are curtains. These 2 are facing forward. So this whole area is like in the back of a Seneca, where the 2 people are facing each other. So if you want club seating, you've got to get 78 or a 79. And if you want single fuel tanks in each wing, you've got to get a 79. And if you want a tapered wing, you've got to get an 80 or newer Saratoga. These come out just as easily as these too, so you can literally just pop them right out at any time. Internally in the fuel system, it's very simple. There are 4 gauges. Tip main, main tip, 4 gauges, 4 indications, and down here, 4 selector positions. So you literally choose, that's off. There's a little gate it goes through, so you don't turn it off when you're flying. Tip, oh yeah, use that one up. Main, yep, tip, yep. So no pumping, no transferring, no anythinging. Underneath the rear seat there's a big fuel selector with a spider with all the lines going in and out of it, so you can't really mess up on the fuel system. Flaps, it's just like any other Cherokee. Manual. 10, 20, 30. Later Saratogas, although this is a Cherokee 6 video, have electric flaps, but all the Cherokee 6s have manual flaps, which makes it very familiar if you're coming up through the Warrior, Archer, Arrow line. So Cherokees, the spar AD, everybody's concerned about those. This one, the carpet's off, easy to see. Here's the spar. This is the spar cap. It's like a giant 4-inch thick, huge piece of aluminum. The check is to do a dye penetrant test on it to check that it hasn't got any cracks in it where the wing's attached. And the wing comes in here, obviously at both sides. So this one's just been done. That's where the spar is. And then since we're down here, on the spar is this little thing. If you were in the pilot seat, you'd reach over and pull that up, and it would squirt fuel on the ground. That is the fuel drain for the belly underneath. So yeah, always when you're buying a Cherokee these days, you've got to check it's had the spar AD done. So thanks once again for watching. This is Mark from Skywagons University, just going over the model year changes of the Cherokee 6. Subscribe on the little button below, click on the bell and you'll get notifications of other videos. There are already a lot of videos on this Skywagon University channel site, so if you want to watch those, I'd be very grateful. Thanks very much. So I was going to fly away in this after this video today, but I've got a better way of doing that.